Okay, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Let's go over a couple things locally here. Let's go over a couple things locally. Hang tight, hang tight. Here we go. If you would like to text, if you find issue with anything I say, all jokes aside, I say that humbly. I'm not being arrogant. I like to have a lot of fun on the show. If you find issue with what I say, you have a different opinion, you have a different approach. If you would like to be on the show to discuss your opinion, you can text me 706-889-9700 and we'll make a slot there for you to call in. You can call in, maybe one day come to the studio, but you can call into the show if you'll text us first, 706-889-9700, or give us your opinion there. Also, you can email me, chief@fetchernews.com, and at FetcherNews, at FYNTV on Twitter. Also, find us on YouTube, FYNTV, FetcherNews.com. I want to take this moment to extend an apology. Election season has had something happening every single day, plus us launching some new things here at FYN TV, especially Instant Replay with Dave Gardner. Mondays, every Monday we air the show. And we air the show weekdays at 10 a.m. right after this show. Instant Replay, the only number one only online sports show. It's an awesome show. It's coming along. We're developing this thing, so it's going to be a monster by the time high school football gets here on Friday night. But what I want to extend an apology to anyone and everyone out there that has texted me or emailed me and I've not responded appropriately in an appropriate amount of time. My apology, and I will try to do better on that because I really want your information. Last night, people, I want to thank you so much. People were texting the number. Hey, how about this? What do you think of that? Did you see these numbers? It was great. And I love the interaction with the audience here with this number. Again, 706-889-9700. Let's do a couple local, really quick results. We want to say congratulations to the new Post 2 commissioner without a runoff. That would be Carleen Ferguson. You have Carleen's picture. Carleen will be, as soon as Amanda can get that up there on the screen. Carleen Ferguson in Gilmer County, Post 2, the new Post 2 commissioner. I'll be glad to go over to meetings with Carleen there. She won in a three-way race there with Jerry Tuso and Woody Jensen, and she got about 61% of the vote. No runoff for Carleen, so congratulations. She'll be serving in 2019, right? Yeah, 2019. She'll be serving. She does not have a Democrat opponent. We got to make sure you understand this. Okay, they won the Republican primary, and what happens is so many people, you know, don't think about, hey, there's still an election in November. So she is just now really the Republican candidate. That's officially, she is the Republican candidate for Post 2 commissioner in Gilmer County, and without an opponent on the Democrat, she will be the next commissioner. She will take Travis Crouch's post when his term expires at the end of this year, and next year she will serve with Dallas Miller and Commission Chair Charlie Paris, which was unopposed and got 100% of the vote last night. So congratulations. Now let's move to a runoff north of here in Fannin County. In Fannin County, this one will be interesting. Now we plan to get with these two candidates and host a debate, just like we did with Matthew Gertler. We'll talk about Gertler in a minute. And Mickey Cummings right here. We plan to host a debate for these candidates here. Larry Joe Sosbee and Larry Joe Sosbee and Glenn Patterson. Now, Glenn Patterson pulled in last night. There's Glenn. We'll start with Glenn. Glenn Patterson pulled in, the Republican. Again, this is the Republican primary. Glenn Patterson pulled in 47.77% of the vote last night. 1,678 votes Glenn Patterson pulled in. And Larry Joe Sosbee is the incumbent. He is currently, this is post to commissioner in Fannin County. He pulled in 31.31% of the vote with 1,100 votes. So there'll be a runoff. Now, Trip Ritchie came in third in this Republican primary with 20.92% rate at 21% with 735 votes, which put this into a runoff. What'll be interesting is, let me just say this. I'm going to say this. This is, one of those things, whether you like it or not, these are facts. When you come to local runoffs, even statewide runoffs, okay? But when you come to a local runoff, the winner is generally the candidate that can get their voters back to the poll, okay? That's generally the winner. So if Glenn Patterson can get, 1,300 of the 1,678 back of his voters alone, he could win this. If Larry Joe, can get all, he doesn't get them back and Larry Joe gets his 1,100 voters back, he could win. So don't look at the disparity between the two numbers. It's a runoff, and runoffs are a much different world. Now, the interesting thing is, where will the 735 votes go from Trip Ritchie? Also, remember in this Fannin County Post 2 Commissioner's race that this is for the nomination for Republican candidate. That's what is up here, because whoever wins this runoff will have to face Dixie Carter. Last night, only 408 Democrats came out to vote, but she got all 408 votes. So whoever wins the Republican will have to face Dixie Carter, the Democrat, for November. Okay, now Board of Education, Bobby Bearden returned. He's been there 16 years, so I guess he'll be there 20 now. That's 4 more years, right? So he'll be there 20 years. Bobby Bearden returns with a respectable 52.29, 1,782 votes. Marvin Allen, this is a Republican, okay? Marvin Allen did an outstanding job running a campaign for a local Board of Education, 47.71%, 1,626 votes. Now, Marvin also, right under Bobby Bearden. And so now Jeff DePola, don't forget that this is going to be in November. Jeff DePola, the Democrat, got 371 votes. So the winner of that Bobby Bearden will face Jeff DePola. Now, Fannin County Board of Education, another seat here. Steve Stanley, he's the incumbent. I think he has served 2 terms. He got 42% of the vote, 1,440 votes. Mike Cole, the other Republican, okay, got 25.55%, 875 votes. There will be a runoff between those two candidates. Now, Ron Bolin pulled in 17.69% with 606 votes. Mike Sullivan, respectfully, and I want to give a special shout out to Mike Sullivan, 14.72%, 504 votes. Mike had to get his name out. I mean, Ron Bolin, let me just say this. I want to give this a respectful, when it comes to candidates, we talk good and bad about all, but, Steve Stanley, name recognition. Mike Cole, kids going through school. Mike Cole's from there, name recognition. Ron Bolin used to be the chair of the Fannin County Republican Party. Ron Bolin, I'm pretty sure, has already served once on the Board of Education. People know those 3 names, okay? Mike Sullivan has not run for anything. He's not out there in certain circles of people, and he was able to, in this campaign, get 504 votes, and that is respectable, although it is 4th of what Mike Sullivan accomplished with the other candidates there, 14.72. Now the question will be, Steve Stanley, where will Mike Cole, where will Ron Bolin and Mike Sullivan's votes go, and will they try to help Mike Cole overturn Steve Stanley as the incumbent, but that is coming up. And Susan DeMora, the Democrat, got 395 votes. So whoever wins the Republican side there will face a Democrat in November. Now, let's go to the Georgia House of Representatives, District 7, okay? Now, Margaret Williamson sent a very gracious speech last night. Speech. I had the words wrong there, but can't find the word. Lost it. Anyhow, we're going to move on. But she sent me a very gracious speech last night congratulating David Ralston on the win. The interesting thing here is this race surprised me as far as candidates go more than any other, okay? Because I know both the candidates. I know David Ralston, and not well, but I know the speaker. I've been to the Capitol and have been in media meetings with the speaker. I've been to many of the events around here with Speaker David Ralston and so on and so forth. And but I know Margaret Williamson, and I know her husband John. John ran against Steve Gooch in the last election, State Senator Steve Gooch. And I've known Margaret Williamson since the Tea Party in 2010. I think I went to my first 2009 Tea Party of Gilmer County. And back then they'd have 150 people in the room. That's a big one, 150 people. And I met her then and John, and they were co-founders of the Tea Party. And Margaret has gone to, and let me make this, Margaret Williamson, in the past 10 years that I've known her, she goes to session every year. She fought for the RIFA bill as hard as she could. She has fought for so many bills down at the Capitol. She's testified to committees. She's walked the halls of the Capitol and knocked on representatives' doors and senators' doors and asked them to vote for something or not to vote for something, okay? She has went to so many training seminars, okay? Training seminars, and this is not a negative. I like Margaret, but she's gone to so many training seminars. There's different seminars of how to run a grassroots campaign. Margaret's gone to them. How to find good candidates in your district to take over or knock off the establishment. Margaret's gone to those. So she's participated in training. She's participated in being an activist. I watched her work very hard for Karen Handel during her Senate campaign. And also, when it was District 6, Margaret went every day and made phone calls, basically for Karen Handel, over and over and over. So I will tell you this. When she went and qualified to run for District 7, several people called me and say, "Do you know this lady, Margaret Williamson?" "Yeah." "Well, what do you think?" And I said, "Well, Mr. Ralston has a whole different opponent this time." See, Mr. Ralston, the Speaker of the House, was opposed for 2 terms, 2 elections by Sam Snyder. Sam Snyder opposed him, and I think got 36% of the vote the first time. He got 36% of the vote. He opposed him again 2 years ago and did not do as well as he did the first time, maybe 30% or 29.5, whatever it was. And so this time, Margaret Williamson opposed the Speaker of the House, David Ralston. And I was asked by multiple people, "What do you think of this candidate?" And I said, "Look, she's no Sam Snyder, okay? This is somebody that has the training, the knowledge, the guts. She will stand up and say things that Sam Snyder never said." I said this to people. And Margaret did basically none of that. She ran a positive campaign. I'm not saying she should have ran a negative campaign, but I was really caught off guard on the candidate, Margaret Williamson. So a lot of times the activist is not the candidate. And the activist needs to find a candidate because sometimes they're not the same person. So that being said, Ralston won Gilmer County 70.8%. He won Gilmer County with 536 votes. He won Fannin County with 76% of Fannin County with 2,674 votes. And Dawson County, which is a portion, 75% with 319 votes. His total vote count was 3,529, and for a total of 75.10% of the vote. Margaret Williamson brought in a total of 1,170 votes. 1,170 votes. She did not even break the 25%. It's 24.9% is all she got, and this is the lowest percentage that has anyone in the three attempts to run against the Speaker of the House, David Ralston. This is the lowest percentage out there. She only got 29. She did get 29.19% in Gilmer County, where she's from and lives. 221 votes. Fannin, she got 24% with 845. At Dawson, she got 24.59 with 104 votes. Now, here's the interesting thing is, I'm going to say this. We'll see what happens. Right now, Rick Day, Ralston will have to run until the end. November. Rick Day is the Democrat on the county, on the ticket, and he has been here. He talks about medical cannabis and so on and so forth. And he may be more, I'm going to say irritant. He may be more of an irritant to David Ralston in the next several months. Then I do not look for the Speaker to lose this election, but to have to put up with somebody, an irritant opponent. Rick Day may be just that for the Speaker for the next couple months. So he'll have to continue to campaign in November. All right, let's take a brief break. Let's come back. Let's go back to state, which I think will affect national, and let's talk more about the state races when we return. Okay, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. Take us to break.